What's good, everybody? It's your man Harry Yo over the top, back with another video. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, guys. So make sure you hit the like button. Let me know that you appreciate the work because it's a little work. But again, it's all about bringing you guys content to help bring a better understanding of the craziness that we go through in relationships and dealing with narcissistic relationships. Today, I'm actually doing a reaction video, and it's a video from these guys have a podcast, and it is called Breakbeat Media. Okay, I should have had that together before I started the video, right? But it's called Breakbeat Media, and they did a video. He did an interview with this young lady who was incredibly transparent about her leaving, not only leaving her husband for, well, you guys will see what she left him for. And I just respect, well, let me take the respect back. I appreciate just her putting herself out there like that so that people can learn. And I want you guys to look at the video. I want you guys to look at the video. I want you to learn. I want you to learn what's in the mind of a person when they become intoxicated with someone else. Because when they do, guys, you can do all the forgiving that you want. It will not prevail. You can forgive, forget, and appreciate whatever you want to do. It's on you, whatever you want to do, but it is not going to save you from that situation. It's not going to get you through that situation. That situation is going to come back to bite you. But again, and this is a pretty lengthy video, but it's a great video. So I want you guys to watch it, and I'm going to jump in different parts, because again, just a great video. I want to do a little bit of commentary during the video. So here we go.
A kid, a happy home, and then you work on yourself, lose over 100 pounds, and become unrecognizable, both inside and out. You hang out more and ultimately step out on your marriage. There's hurt, pain, and a divorce. You live life with regret, but your story isn't finished.
What I thought at the time was love, I had never felt that before, ever. I've never felt so more desired in my life, ever.
Was sleeping with your husband difficult?
Very.
Why?
Because I only wanted the other guy.
Wow. I'm obviously not yours and you're not mine, but
No, he was mine. He was mine. I'm sorry, honey. He was mine.
How did your husband find out?
I confessed. I couldn't sleep. My conscience was eating me alive, and I was exhausted. I was ready to leave my baby, leave my family. This was nice. I love y'all. I see y'all on the weekend. I wanted to be with him at all costs.
Guys, you heard it. I wanted to leave my child, my husband, whatever, at all costs. This is the intoxication.
What's good? My name is Chris Styles, Trapping Anonymous. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for everybody that's been subscribing and supporting and just sharing our content. I feel like lately we've really been blowing up, and it's just things that people really want to hear. So, if you guys got any things that you want us to speak about or any interviews that you think that we should do, let me know. Check in that Apple podcast, please, the audios. If you can't sit back and watch the videos, you can always go to those Apple podcasts and get those audios as well so that you can download it, listen to it on the train or whatever. Today we have a very, very special guest with us, as always, but this one in particular, I've been waiting 6-7 months for this interview. I think that is something that we don't get to speak about a lot or hear a lot from people that are even willing to talk about these types of things. So please sit back, relax, enjoy. Do remember that the stories that you hear do not necessarily reflect your life. They're here to entertain, they're here to educate, and hopefully keep your little homie off the streets. My name is Chris Styles. This is 100%. Let's get it. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I usually jump right into the interviews. I don't like to take the scenic route, as I like to say. How did you ruin your marriage?
Uh, Infidelity. I will say that is the simplest way to put it.
Infidelity.
Hmm.
And I feel like the narrative is always the man cheats.
Yes.
The man messed up. We were having a conversation off camera, and you was just like, everybody that you talk to says, "Well, what did he do?"
Yeah.
What do you feel about that narrative?
Yeah. I think people automatically go to the man being the problem. So when I say, I'm divorced, whatever, they're like, oh God, what did he do? Oh, good for you. You can do better. And it's sort of like, oh, it was me, actually. It wasn't him.
As you guys can hear, yeah, she's saying it was me. No, 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 no. Guys, I speak to my audience all the time about this spirit. And the reason that it seems like I think that it seems like women are being attacked is because, like she said, the first thought is, I got your back. Girl, what happened? What did he do? Instead of just what happened? You cannot get to a solution in life if the first thing that you always think is, what did the opposite sex do? It's all about taking accountability. And on this one, fortunately, she did.
How was your marriage? Was this like a tumultuous relationship that you had? If you could give me just like a little backstory about like how the dynamic of the relationship was.
So we met when I was about 19. And he became my best friend. We decided to get married a few years later. We got married very young. I was about 23 at the time. Got married very young, and he was amazing. He was a great provider. He was a good friend, and things were good. We had baby. Things were good until they weren't.
And why weren't they?
Well, before when we met, I was 130 pounds heavier. So I lost 130 pounds and kind of lost my mind, so to speak.
But you lost 130 pounds in the relationship?
In the relationship. When we got married, I was 320 pounds at my heaviest. And lost the weight and kind of went south.
Was this the first time that you've ever been slimmer and like?
Yes. All my life, I've been a fat girl. So this was the first time that I actually got to be the it girl, so to speak,
And what about your husband?
What about him? You mean like
weight wise? Was he?
Oh, well, he was a bigger guy, but it wasn't too crazy at the time. He was a bigger guy, but he loved me big. He never complained. He always complimented me, treated me like I was beautiful, but I didn't feel beautiful. So I went ahead with the weight loss.
There's a narrative about big women, right? One of the narratives that I hear is that big women know how to treat a man, right? This is sort of because, I don't know, like maybe the world isn't at their feet.
Yeah.
Maybe they do have to be humble and
Yeah.
display humility to have people like them or be into them or, sort of. So from the big girl perspective, can you speak to that?
Well, not really, because he was obsessed with me. I mean, when I say in a healthy way, he loved me deeply. And I never felt like I had to do a lot to keep him around. He always wanted to be around.
Right. So maybe not with him, but I mean like in other relationships that you've had in the past or men that you've been around in the past and whatever.
Okay, so like I hadn't had many relationships, but a few that I did have, I don't know. I felt like the fat girl.
Right.
Yeah. And so
do you feel like you have to be extra nice?
I didn't feel like I had to be extra nice, but I felt like I had to go above and beyond with like fashion or my hair. I always had to be, everything had to be in place.
Right.
If I was going to be fat, I was going to be fat and fly.
So he worshiped the ground you walked on. What made you lose the weight?
I was just tired of feeling that way. I was tired of feeling how I felt. So I wanted to get it done.
I was speaking to someone that used to be fat and they're a fitness person now. And one of the things she said to me was, there's not a fat person that isn't depressed.
I can agree with that. I was very depressed when I was at that weight, even throughout my marriage. And even my ex-husband would reassure me and tell me, you're beautiful, don't worry. I still felt bad within myself.
So he watches you lose this weight, but he loved you for who you were.
Yeah.
But you didn't love you for who you were.
Exactly.
Does he not diet with you? Does he not go to the gym with you? Does he not want to do all those things? Or he just sort of like...
He just supported me.
Right.
He was kind of comfortable where he was, and his main focus was just me and supporting me.
So his main focus was assisting you.
Yes.
And just supporting you and
yes.
being there for you.
Yes, absolutely.
So where did
Again, Many of you have seen this. You've dealt with it. You've done all the work. You're helping this person. You're assisting this person. The other person, the narc that you dealt with, they're not, they know what they did to you. She's telling you clearly, I see what I did to him. I know it was me. She's not denying on any level that it's all her, that she did it. She's the one losing their mind. Guys, you got to stop beating yourself up thinking that, yeah, if you could have did this, if you could have did that, if you would have.
Didn't go wrong. When you lost that weight, you looked in the mirror and then you was just like, hold on. Do you think that he could have married that girl that lost 130 pounds?
Honestly, probably not.
Or that he would even want to?
Oh, I look pretty amazing, so he probably would have wanted to. But I don't think he could have. Mm-hmm. Now thinking back, I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think that he felt that when he looked at you?
I think that he felt betrayal. How could you do this and I met you at this weight? How could you lose this weight and just totally change when I met you at this weight?
Again, guys, she said it. How could he looked at her like, how could you betray me like this? Guys, for all of y'all to think they don't know what they're doing, these are her words, not his.
You think that he felt betrayal?
I think that he did because he supported me. He was there for me when I was 320 pounds. But then when I lost the weight, I was different. My behaviors were different.
What do you mean?
I dressed differently. I wore more fitting clothes. I started to go out a lot more with my girlfriends more than ever. I started getting a lot of attention, a lot more attention from men.
Married, just had a kid, and I'm running the streets. Not only is it a red flag, it's a violation of the terms that you're in a relationship on. If you're dealing with someone that is a club head or whatever, in which I don't think that that's what she was before she got married. This is a new person that she turned into after she lost that weight. She became someone different. So therefore, it wasn't that, she wasn't a cheater at heart. No, that's not the thing. Because, later on in this interview, you're going to see that it seems that the narrative was, no, this is the first time I've ever done something like this. I think I'm getting attention now. I wasn't getting any attention before. And now that I'm getting this attention, which everybody will get, when you're in a relationship, guys, that person you're dating, they're not getting the same attention that they're going to get once you guys are in a relationship. That's when the true test comes. Now she's lost this weight and she's saying it. She lost her mind.
And I didn't know how to handle it. I just couldn't handle it.
I think about two different mentalities, right? Mm-hmm. I think about the girl that gets the BBL. Mm-hmm. One day, I don't know, let's say she has an undesirable body. Mm-hmm. The next day, she's the most desirable woman in the world. Mm-hmm. There's a mentality that goes into that, right?
Yes.
Because in your mind, you're still that girl before the body. You can't just change that overnight.
Right.
But when you lose the weight and you put in the work for the weight to be gone, I feel like the mentality is sort of gradual. And you sort of become that person in a different way. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
Well, let me correct you. So I had weight loss surgery. So I didn't put in as much work. It's kind of similar to getting a BBL. You go in one day and you don't have a desirable body, and then you come out and you do. With weight loss surgery, it's gradual, but it's kind of quick when you lose the weight. You lose the weight pretty quickly. I lost 100 pounds in 6 months. So it was quick.
What kind of surgery was this?
The sleeve, gastric sleeve.
Okay. And
So they make your stomach smaller so you can consume less.
I've heard about this.
Yeah. Very old surgery. Yeah, everybody's getting it now. Everybody and their mama. Everybody.
Okay. So you going out, you hanging out more.
Yeah.
Does he say something to you?
At first, he kind of let it slide. Mm-hmm. He stayed at home with the baby. I had a 1-year-old at the time. Wow. And he stayed at home with the baby and he kind of let me do my thing. Yeah, at first.
And then it was like, all right.
And then he was like, okay, do you have to go out every weekend?
He was out every weekend.
And during the week?
Again, because we want to seem like we're not all tripped out and I'm not acting all, I got this noose around your neck. We let people go out to play, which actually turns out to be a good thing because, guys, if you try to restrain them from it, they are going to fight you to get out there in those streets. They absolutely are going to fight you.
Week sometimes.
So you're meeting men?
Well, no, not at first. So I was getting a lot of attention from men.
Right.
But at first, that was all it was. It was nothing any more than that. Just the attention. Yeah.
Bring me to the day you cheated for the first time.
So met a guy at work and we started to become friends. He was very flirtatious, gave me a lot of attention. I had just had a baby. I was about a year postpartum. And I was feeling, the weight was gone, but I was still feeling bad. I was feeling bored and frumpy, and I just wanted some excitement. And he and I became friends, and it was innocent at first. And then it gradually started to progress into something a little more inappropriate each day. I worked with this guy.
Work husband.
I had to see him.
Yeah.
He would walk me to my car if it was too dark at night, whatever. And we began to talk on the phone. It was over after that. The phone. We started talking. We became friends.
That damn phone, man. That damn phone, man. When that conversation went to the phone, y'all saw the expression on her face. She said, when we started talking on the phone, that was it. That was it. That's the person that you see sneaking around. That's the person that you see laying in the bed next to you. You sleep. She on the phone. She phone boning right next to you.
And it was like, well, let's go out for a drink. I'm like, okay, cool. So then now I'm lying to my husband saying I'm going out with the girls when really I'm going to meet him. And it just gradually worked itself up from there. And I was just so enamored with this person and his personality and his charisma. And he wasn't boring. And I was excited to go to work. It was.
And this is really why I'm actually doing a reaction to this video, because I want you guys to feel the details. I want you to hear what someone is saying. She's saying, he's not boring. I was enamored. I'm getting this attention now. I wasn't getting this attention. You like me for who I am, who I was. This guy likes me for who I am now. Her husband liked her for who she was then and now. The new person, the new people, as we will see, they like her for who she turned into. And she liked it. She loved it. Guys, stop thinking it was you. Stop thinking it was something you did wrong. Stop believing it was something you did wrong.
It was crazy. It's crazy.
Wow. Oh man, like you experiencing that, it was such a new feeling.
Yes, very new. I had never felt that way before in my life, ever. Like the excitement, what I thought at the time was love. I had never felt that before, ever. I have never felt so more desired in my life, ever. And even though my husband, he was very uplifting, you're beautiful, you're this, but this was different. This was, not only did he tell me I was beautiful, but I actually felt it too. When my husband would tell me, I'd be like, oh, whatever, you're supposed to say that. But when this guy, it was just different.
It was just different.
It was just different.
Even the way I hear you speak about it,
Yeah.
I could tell that it sort of brings you back to that.
I want you guys to, even if you got to rewind this video, okay? I want you to listen to what she said. It was different. That's all it was. At the end of the day, it wasn't, this guy was so incredible. He had everything that I ever dreamed about. He was my dream guy. He was this, he was all of these things. He was this, that. He was different. He wasn't you. That's it. Okay? That's all it is. Stop looking at yourself like, what else did I do? What more can I do?
That
Very
feeling,
intense.
and it's
Very intense.
very
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah.
So you're out for a drink. You have a drink. It
Mhm.
goes too far.
Way too far. We started talking every single day, meeting before work, staying late after work, and it just progressed from there.
Where did y'all have sex at?
Oh wow. At a hotel for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah. At a hotel.
You set it up like, all right, this is gonna happen.
Well, he set it up. We talked about it
Mhm.
a lot. I was very scared because I
Mm.
had never stepped out in my relationship ever.
Mm.
So I was very, very scared, but I was willing to take the risk because that's how intense the relationship between us had got.
It's interesting.
Now, again, guys, this particular situation is, it's not that she's saying she's not a natural born cheater. That's not what she's saying. She's saying, this is the first time I ever did something like this because this is the first time I've ever gotten the attention. This is the first time I've ever gotten the opportunity for this. Before this, I've never had the opportunity to see if I was a devoted wife, to see if I was really wife material. Now that she's lost weight, and I think that she's by this in this interview, you can see she's picked that weight back up, which most people do after you get that gastric surgery or whatever. No hard work, it just doesn't last. You know what I'm saying? You got to work hard to maintain that stuff too. But again, guys, let's just keep watching.
That you said, I never stepped out in my relationship, but you were emotionally stepping out of your relationship,
Mhm.
and how we don't sort of factor that into like the
Yeah.
cheating aspect, and
Yeah.
which is probably the more dangerous thing that we could be doing, right?
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
I meant before him.
yeah,
Before
yeah,
him,
no,
I
no,
had never
yeah.
emotionally, I wasn't talking to anybody.
Yeah.
Never.
Mhm.
When I met him, that's when it all started. The emotional cheating and then the physical cheating.
Right.
Yeah.
After that hotel, we call it Pandora's box, right?
Oh yeah.
Because
yeah.
once you open it, it's impossible to close.
Impossible.
It's impossible. Once you open that up,
Yep.
what was the difference in being at home? What was the energy like when you went back home? What you now?
Y'all hear that? Once the narc opens that box, for all of y'all who keep staying and thinking that maybe I can do something and I'm gonna change it and they're gonna figure this out and they're gonna come back and they're gonna get it together. No, man. You're not going to stay with this person. Then you're not going to figure it out. They're not going to get it back together. I want y'all to listen very clearly to what she's about to say, because this is something that everybody who's dealt with a narc, who's dealt with especially a cheating, well, all narcs cheat. I want y'all to hear something very clear. I want y'all to listen to the next words that she's about to say.
Like we said, we've uncovered it.
Yeah.
The forbidden. Some things are left off limits because God knows we cannot cut it off.
Can't handle it.
Right. So what was that dynamic like when you come back home and nobody knows, and it's still your secret?
Well, it was exciting because it was a secret.
Mhm.
But when I came home, I loathed coming home. I did not want to come home. I wanted to be in that excitement, that euphoria forever. I hated coming home. So it was hard. I lived a double life. I was a different person at work and with him, and I was a different person at home with my baby and with my ex-husband. It was hard. It was very exhausting, but it was so exciting and enchanting, and I did not want to stop. It became an
She was saying it became an addiction. I'm going to turn it back on in a second. I just want you guys, again, to embrace what she's telling you. You wondering why you going through hell in your house? She's telling you why you are going through hell in your home. Every time you breathe and you look at that person, every time that person sees anything in you, they despise you because they want to get back out there to the other person. They despise you. They're like, man, I hate coming in here to you. I hate coming to this house. I hate coming to this whole situation. And they just want to destroy that situation so that you will want them gone. See, at this point, she is totally, like in her words, she was enamored by this guy. She's like, man, I'm all the way in. I would do anything for this guy. That's what she's saying. And that's what you're coming up against. Guys, you're coming up against something that you're going to lose on every single time, man.
Addiction.
Was sleeping with your husband difficult?
Very.
Why?
Because I only wanted the other guy.
Wow.
I was so in love. I thought I was in love. I was
Guys, I'm not gonna keep stopping this video like this, but I just want you guys to get the points. She said making love to her husband, that was the most difficult thing for her because she was so obsessed. Now, she was still doing it out of that obligation. She felt like, this is my husband. Plus, see, this is one thing I want y'all to hear that she's not saying also. This other guy didn't give her that green light. She wanted the green light, and she thought that sexually she was going to convince this other guy to leave his situation to come with her. Remember, narcs always want to destroy two households, their own and the other person's. Okay? Always remember that. They love dealing with somebody who's in a relationship.
my random, crazy, mixed up depiction of love. That's what I felt at the time. And I didn't want anybody with him. Nobody.
And at this time, is this other guy married?
He was. I didn't know at the time. I just thought he had a living girlfriend, but it turns out that was his wife.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you find it easier to cheat with somebody that was with somebody? Or did you not care? You was just so enamored by this one individual?
Well, I didn't care. I was so enamored. It wasn't his wife, so I thought I was okay. I'm like, whatever, it's just your baby mama, who cares? But I was a little jealous because there were times I wanted to be with him and I couldn't because he had someone else. I had way more freedom than him.
And that's the thing.
Way more.
Good God, y'all. She's saying it, man. She is giving y'all everything you ever wanted to know. She didn't care about leaving her house. She didn't care about what her husband thought or said. Her attitude was, man, I'm leaving. Whatever. I'm going to my man. I ain't thinking about you. She said flat out, I don't care what I'm doing. I don't care what I'm doing. You ain't going to do nothing about it. And I'm saying this because, guys, that's why we get that feeling like nice guys finish last. Because, see, when a woman's dealing with a guy that she know isn't abusive, is not going to put his hands on her and stuff like that, when she's dealing with that kind of guy, they pretty much know. I mean, I can go where I want, do what I want, come home when I want, see who I want, be with who I want, and all you're gonna do is ask me questions. That's it. They not gonna do that with that other fool. They go out here, they dealing with some fool. Nah, it ain't gonna be like that, and we all know it. But I'm saying that you see firsthand that this female right here, she's telling you flat out, man, I did not care that he was with somebody else. With your baby mother, who cares? That ain't nothing. They don't care about that other relationship, guys. They don't.
You do this thing, right? And I'm obviously not yours and you're not mine. But I don't
he
want
was
you to...
mine. He was mine. I'm sorry, honey. He was mine at the time. So I thought, right? I was going crazy, nearly lost it. He was mine at the time.
So when you found out this is actually his wife, how do you feel? Does your feelings change? Does your disposition change? Or do you just like, you know what, I don't give a fuck?
Well, actually, I didn't find out until it was over between him and I.
Oh.
But it crushed me, even after the fact. It crushed me. Because I felt like he lied. Like, how could you lie to me? We don't lie here. We tell each other everything. How could you lie? So I felt betrayed. But it was over by that point. So
how could the other person lie? Guys, this is the level of delusion. The level of delusion that this woman was under. In her mind, she said, he is my man. You heard her. She's like, you can say what you want, even though we know how it ended. He was mine. That's how she felt. And I'm taking you from your wife. I don't care who it is to you. That is the level of obsession that a narc gets when it comes to the other person. It's a brand new toy. She ain't said nothing outside of sex with this person. That's it. I want y'all to listen to her closely because that's all. That's all you're going to get. It was exciting. It was because it was forbidden. That's what excites narcs. Oh, this is forbidden. I love it. Let's do this. Oh, it feels so incredible.
It was nothing.
The height of your infidelity,
Mm-hmm.
the height. What was that? What was a regular day like?
Oh, it was euphoria. It was talking to him and texting him all day. It was getting in trouble at work because I'm in my phone all day. It was figuring out how I'm going to lie to get out of the house this evening because I got to get to this man. We're going out. I don't care what it is. I got to go. So at the height of my infidelity, it was just euphoric. It was euphoric. That's the only way I can describe it.
Damn. I see you go back to that place. It's very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
What how does your husband find out?
I confessed. Yeah.
Wow. You confessed.
I confessed. I couldn't sleep. My conscience was eating me alive and I was exhausted from all the lies. And, I had to be one person at work, one person with him, one person at church. It was too much. I couldn't talk to anybody about it.
And this is after how long?
Maybe like 18 months or so.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah.
To be that connected to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And be doing this secret with someone else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Y'all was fucking on the job.
Yeah.
Y'all was fucking on the job.
I mean, yeah, we have.
Shout out to my man Chris Styles because this dude is an awesome, awesome interviewer. Bro. Yes, sir. Excellent. Asking all the questions that everybody wants to know. Were y'all doing it on the job? And what did she say? Hell yeah. Were we? Ooh, everywhere you can think of. Y'all guys. And see, I'm so happy this was a female because oftentimes, everybody wants to make it out to be, nah, women ain't gonna do nothing like that. They ain't gonna be like all up in the job, the closets, the bathrooms, the garage, wherever, whatever. If they got a place, they got the opportunity, them panties coming off. They ain't got to come off, slide them to the side. That's what they doing out here, y'all. Don't sit back and think that, oh, now ain't nobody, because they will try to convince you, ain't nobody doing all that at work. Like, come on, get real. When we got somewhere, we went to a hotel. No, she telling you flat out, nah, man. It went down everywhere, anywhere, anytime we were together. That's what we was trying to do. Everywhere they were. Okay, that's what they was trying to do. And remember, all she's going to talk about is sex. It ain't going to be that we had this incredible vibe connection. It was this, it was that. It was so, so many of these other things that people say they want in a relationship. It was trust, it was honor, it was love, it was, everything you've ever dreamed about. It was, both of us were in the right place at the right time, the right opportunity. That's not what she's saying.
It has happened. It did happen a couple times. No, but most of the time it was set up for hotel stays.
Yeah, no, I'm being messy. Sorry. Yeah. No, but yeah, that's a long time to be, let alone not just fucking, but just talking to somebody for 18 months.
I was exhausted. Yeah. I was exhausted. it became very messy between me and the other guy because I wanted his time.
Mm.
And he knew what it was.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know what it was. I mean, I knew, but I didn't want to accept it.
Yeah.
I thought that the relationship that we had was so powerful that I could change his mind.
You know what's crazy? I heard this like one. I don't know if it's a quote, but it was just like, you never hear the story about the side dude, right?
Yeah.
Like the side dude never comes out like,
Yeah,
it was me.
yeah, but you hear a lot of side chicks.
Because maybe women get that emotional attachment that men sort of can just disconnect from.
Yeah.
You think
Unfortunately, I don't think he disconnected that easy, but way easier than myself.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what it was. He was more logical about it than I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was ready to leave my baby, leave my family. This was nice. I love y'all. I see y'all on the weekend. I wanted to be with him at all costs.
My baby, my husband, our home, whatever it takes, I'm out. For all of y'all who think that the children gonna keep a man or a woman there, a male or a female with you, she just broke the code. She said, I don't care, man. You can have a baby. I'll visit y'all on every other weekend as long as I can be with this. I want y'all to keep listening because I want you to hear what she did all this for.
You was ready to leave your kid.
When I say leave my kid, I mean, here, Dad, you can have her. I'll see y'all on the weekend. If this don't work out, she's yours. Just let me be happy with him. At the time, looking back on that now, I'm like, oh, it's cringy. It is cringy, but I was gone. My mind was gone.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
I was really in love, so I thought.
But that euphoria that you described earlier, it can't be manufactured. You know.
I had never felt that way before, ever.
So you tell him. What does he say? How do you tell him? What?
Well,
I know you went back and forth in your mind about it a couple times.
He had been probing, and I went back and forth in my mind about it. I talked to a therapist about it because it was haunting me.
Of course.
I talked to my therapist about it. I had talked to my mom about it, and I talked to my pastor about it. I was going crazy. I couldn't have this guy, but I couldn't stop what we were doing, and I was just completely bored with my relationship at home. I just wanted to be done. In my mind, I wanted to tell him what I had done. I wanted him to leave me and so I could be with this guy. That's what the plan was at first.
Isn't that
I had to work through that.
Yeah.
Definitely not what happened.
Hell no.
Heck.
Y'all see that part right there? She just said, hey, I wanted to create so much chaos that eventually he would want to leave me so that I could go be with him, the other guy.
Heck no. Definitely not what happened. So, yeah.
So you tell him, what was the conversation like?
So I had went out and he had got a hold of one of my books. And I alluded to something in one of my little journals about an exciting night that I had out. Didn't use any names, but he put two and two together and he's like, what's going on? And
he invaded your privacy.
He invaded my privacy and he was just rambling. He knew something was going on, but he couldn't catch me. He couldn't put his finger on it. I had all types of locks on my phone. He could not figure it out.
Right.
I was sneaking out. I was doing
them locks on their phone. You got somebody, listen, if you're in a relationship, you in a marriage, y'all live together. If y'all live together or you married, either or, you call yourself in a relationship, the answer's in that phone. Okay? Either that phone or another phone they got hidden somewhere, but the answer is in that phone.
doing this, doing that, saying I was with my girlfriend, saying I was going here, lying to this man essentially. And so he started to probe around the house for weeks. And he was questioning me and it was just getting on my nerves and I was becoming more and more anxious. I said, look, this is what it is.
That must have felt good. Just to finally get it off of your chest.
Just to get it off my chest. Yeah, it felt good. But the pain that I saw in his eyes, that didn't feel good. Because that was my best friend. That was my best friend. And that didn't feel good. He was so discombobulated when I told him. He was very upset. He took a walk. It was about 4:00 in the morning because I was out. Why are you out at 4:00 in the morning? I'm somebody's wife and mama, got the little baby at home. I was out. When I came in, he was up waiting, and we talked about this little thing he read in the book. I let it go. I couldn't hold it anymore. I was sick. It was making me sick, literally.
Discombobulated how? Like,
he has so many questions. He has so many questions. Is this where you were on this day? Is this what you did when you say you were this person?
You replay every conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was bad.
And at this point, you're just being brutally honest.
I was being honest.
Well, you were still trying to.
I was tiptoeing.
Right.
Because I was like, I don't know what this man is going to do to me. Right, I mean, right. I know him.
Right.
But people, you never know. People snap. And so, I was holding my baby because I'm like, he ain't going to kill me with the baby in my hand. I hope. So I was holding the baby. And, she didn't know. She's 1 year old. She's 2 years old at the time. Yeah. She didn't know what was going on. And so I'm holding the baby and I'm just telling him things slowly. Not everything, but some things. And it was hard for him.
He comes back in the house and then what?
He's like, I'm moving. I'm leaving. I'm going to live with my brother. I need to stay there for a couple of days, a couple months. I don't know. I got to get out of here.
This might sound like a weird question, but was a part of you relieved when he was?
Yes. Because I'm like, I get to be with my boyfriend now.
Oh, shit.
So a part of me.
There you have it. That's why they want the breakup so bad. Can you please just let me cheat in peace so I can get back to this other person? She's feeling like, man, I'll get you back. I ain't worrying about you. I'll get you back.
He was relieved. I didn't know what it entailed to have my helpmate gone. So I asked him not to leave because I wanted to show him that I was,
Yeah.
But a part of me was like,
okay,
well, I get to talk on my phone all night like I really want to.
I don't got to hide.
I ain't got to go in the bathroom texting all night. I ain't got to make up something to get out the house.
And now your boyfriend is like, hold on, what you doing?
Yeah. He's like, I hope this is not for me. And I'm like,
oh, shit.
So, for every last one of y'all that keep thinking that the other person they just sitting there with open arms, it's just so incredible, as you can see, sometimes they got a flunky. Sometimes they just got another flunky out there to just do anything to, chase behind them. But a lot of times, guys, this right here is exactly how that situation goes down. They're saying, hey, like dude told her, hey, I hope you ain't leave your husband for me. Cause I ain't breaking up my house for you. No.
No, it's not for you,
but it's a little convenient.
It's convenient, but he's like, well, I still have my kids, and I still have my girl. He wouldn't call her his wife. I still have my girl, my kids.
Basically telling you don't get it fucked up.
Yeah. In other words, yeah.
You knew what this was.
Yep.
You let it go too far.
Yeah. You knew what this was. You couldn't handle it.
What do you feel about that?
I mean, he was right, and I knew he was right, but I didn't want to admit that. I didn't want to give in to that. I just wanted what I wanted, and I didn't care. I wanted him at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So does he actually leave? What do you and your
So he
husband?
left and he stayed with a family member for a couple weeks.
Mhm.
And we talked about it daily. Every day he had new questions. Every day he was calling me and, trying to get more information about what had transpired over the year and a half, almost 2 years. And it was a lot.
Mm.
It was a lot of things that I had to break down and tell him. There was a pregnancy he didn't know about. Well, he knew about, but he didn't know that there was someone else involved. It was a lot,
You were pregnant by the other guy?
I think. And when I say I think, it's because I was having an affair. So I was with that guy and my husband at the same time. So I didn't.
For all of you guys who been lied to, because I know that you've been lied to, for them to act like they did not have sex with you at the same time they were having sex with the other person, here you go. Yes, they did. Yes, they do. They got you on restrictions, but they know it's only was so much they could do to you and still be able to keep the charade going. Yes, she was pregnant and she don't know who the father is, but she's married.
No.
You terminated the pregnancy?
So I had to terminate the pregnancy because I just couldn't handle
Hell
that.
no.
I couldn't handle it. I didn't know I couldn't go through 9 months of torture like that.
And then the baby come and
I don't know who. Yeah. Yeah. It was hard. It was very, 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 very hard.
what did he say when you told him that you were pregnant?
He's like, so you were pregnant by him? He had so many questions. And I had to explain to him, like, I don't know. I was seeing him and being with you at the same time. I don't know. But at the time, financially, we weren't ready for another baby.
Mhm.
And I was able to persuade him that this wasn't the right time. So my ex-husband, he knew about the pregnancy, but he didn't know that it may have involved someone else. I just persuaded him to, like, this is not the right time. I'm on birth control. There could be birth defects, whatever. I shouldn't do this. Let's not do this. And he was so supportive. He's like, whatever you want to do.
This guy is just.
If
When
I'm
you-
lying, child, I'm flying.
When you describe him, he just sounds like the ideal guy. What do
Yeah.
you say to the women that are in search of a man like the one you had? Like that
They
just
don't make them like that no more.
Mm.
Period. And I stand on that 10 toes down till this day. And he's remarried happily. I love his wife. She's wonderful with my daughter. They're really great, but I stand on that 10 toes down. They don't make them like him anymore. So if a woman is ever that lucky to find someone remotely close, fight for that. Stay true to that.
If you could be with him today, would you?
No, I wouldn't.
And why is that? Too much damage?
Too much damage. And the truth is, I was unfulfilled in a lot of ways
Right.
in that relationship. And I wasn't able to express it in the right way. So I was finding my identity through sex. I had this new body and I was getting an identity through sex. It made me unfulfilled in my relationship.
Mhm.
I was already unfulfilled. So no, I wouldn't go back.
What do you say to the people that say, well, you were unfulfilled in your relationship, but you still chose to be a cheater, right? Like, because sometimes people think that you being unfulfilled is an excuse to do what you were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to me, I don't think it was an excuse.
What should you have done?
I should have fought for my marriage. I should have read a book, said a prayer. I don't know, went to therapy. There were so many things that I should have did other than step out. But it had nothing to do with him. It had all to do with me and my selfishness.
So, guys, right there, I really wanted you to hear that part, because she at first she said, no, I wouldn't, I wouldn't take him back. I wouldn't deal with him again. just within an instant. Very next question. But would you have done anything different? I would have done everything different. I would have prayed. I would have did this. I would have did that. I would have did all these things, right? Because now, for all of you that think that they are not living their life in regret, that this wonderful world of dating, good God, this wonderful world of dating is so incredible for narcs. They love it. They absolutely love it, right? For all of you guys that believe that and think that, just keep listening.
I wanted to fulfill self. I wasn't thinking about him at the time. I wasn't thinking about the baby at the time. I was thinking about me and my selfish needs.
Did it
So I
feel
didn't
good?
care at the time.
Didn't that feel good
It
though?
felt good at the time.
They, you know, by nature, we are just selfish creatures, right?
Yes.
That's why a baby it's not being cruel. It's just
Selfish.
I'm selfish. That's
about
who
me.
we are.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Do you think this other guy, your boyfriend, quote unquote, we'll call him, do you think he was with other women?
Now looking back, at the time I didn't, but now looking back,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. At least one or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's never just you.
It's never just me. And plus, I talked to people that were actually with him. We used to work together.
Right.
So I was able to connect with people after the fact that gave me more information and would just let me know, hey, yeah, I used to mess with him too. Like, okay.
People are telling you that they used to mess with him too.
Well, after it was all over with, all said and done, I came across a couple girls that mentioned it. They didn't know my story, but mentioned it to me. And I'm like, aha, oh, really?
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Never even knowing that he and I were what we were, but just, he was kind of like the work hoe.
So yeah. She got some attention from the guy on the job that has having sex with everybody. Hey, it was her turn. For all of y'all to think that this was just some grand, incredible guy. Man. This was Tyrone at the job. I'm telling y'all, this was Tyrone at the job. And that's it. That's his job, to sling it on the job. He done went through the whole building, and she's saying things at the end like, oh, she didn't know, and I didn't know about anybody else. But now all of a sudden people are volunteering, oh yeah, I was with Tyrone. Like, come on, man. We work at a job. We know how everybody talks. She kept it real on most of it though. So I'm gonna give her credit for keeping most of this real. But she knew what it was. Y'all heard her say it a little while ago. He told her, man, you know what this is. You know what this is. She just thought that, hey, but I look so incredible. I look so cute in these pictures that I'm the one. And I can make anything happen.
He had slept with at least 4 or 5 girls there, from what I heard, right? I wasn't there, but from what I heard, allegedly.
He got you at the right time.
He got me at the right time, at my most vulnerable.
At what point did you realize you ruined one of the best things that happened to you? Because I know for a while it was just like, okay, the freedom. But then you realize, hold on, this dude ain't. I know that the boyfriend switched up on you completely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What you mean you got time for me? Well, I ain't got time. I got a wife. I got a kid, all right? So This was fun when we were sneaking around.
Yep.
But don't think that, so at what point did you sit there and realize, like, hold on, this is not what I thought it was?
When my ex-husband served me the divorce papers, that was when I realized I had effed up big time.
Why then?
Because it was real then. I never.
Because it was real. Because he stood up and said, man, it's done. It's over. All of y'all that keep sitting around with them, giving them chance after chance, man, I wish I could have seen videos like my own at this point. I wish I had something like that in place. That's why I make so many videos for y'all, because I wish somebody would have told me they gonna get it when you do something besides being their toilet. Okay. When you stop being their toilet, that's when it gets real to them. All this, I'm gonna leave you, all this arguing and back and forth. Well, I'm gonna just let y'all keep watching, man.
Thought, because like I said, he worshiped the ground I walked on in a good way. You know, he was amazing for me. So I never thought he would actually go anywhere. I never thought he would actually leave.
What's the nature of your relationship now?
We're co-parents. We're great co-parents, good friends. Like I said, he's married, remarried, and we're family. We take care of my daughter. We keep her as the focus, and we don't really talk about that anymore.
A part of you must want him to be like cruel about it, right?
And that's the thing, right? So through him, I learned what true love really is, like true agape love. Because after everything I did to him, he is still so kind to me. He could be such a monster co-parent. He could be such an asshole. He could I'm blessed.
Yeah, I'm just like, in your position, I would be like, curse me out. You know, like tell me, like
Curse
make it
me
difficult.
out something. That made me feel worse.
Yeah.
Because the more and more information he got about my infidelity after it was all said and done, the more I wanted him to just, I felt horrible. And I wanted to be punished. And he just killed me, literally killed me with kindness. If killed me with kindness was a person, it would be him. To this day, till this day, he's super respectful. He don't go there with me, but he don't fuck with me either, right? If it ain't got nothing to do with my daughter, it's a wrap. He's a sweet person. He's a good friend. We have our little birthday parties, Christmas, and that's it.
That's it.
It's a wrap.
Strictly business.
Strictly business. Very kind.
Who do you go back and tell that girl that shows up to the hotel room and says, you know what, we about to take this ride? What would you go back to her and say?
It ain't worth it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Miss Sealy. Don't do it. Run for your life. You'll regret it. That's what I would tell my old self.
What would she say back to you?
You're right, but I'll be back.
You're right, but I'll be back. Guys, all I'm saying is at the end of the day, man, oh man, I know it's a lot to unpack on that one right there. Again, I want to show some love for that Breakbeat podcast, Breakbeat Media, you know, incredible interview. And I think that this interview, watching this interview, you guys will be able to see where you stand in your situation with the narc. You'll get a better idea of how they think and what they think of you for staying with them and continuing to roll forward in that, and what they think about how just how they move. Guys, she gave so many answers for everybody in this watching this video. For everybody watching this video, she gave so many answers to so many things that it's like it's going to be difficult for you to not see the truth. She told you at the end, do they regret it? Absolutely, every single day. But would she have done it again? Absolutely. Why? Because she ain't in control. A narc ain't in control of themselves. They're here for destruction, people. They're here for destruction. Stop believing the hype that they can do whatever. Hey, that's my video. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I think this is a really good one. Like, share, subscribe. Hurry over the top. Thanks, good people.